For the heart book folding, it is a little bit more complicated than the Christmas tree, so you will need to refer to a set of printed instructions. You'll see there are 62 rows of instructions because you'll be using 62 leaves of the book. When we're doing this, we're referring to leaves rather than pages. So just to explain that one, a sheet is a leaf. The pages are counted one side and the other. So that would be 2 pages, but only 1 leaf. So for this one, you need a minimum of 124 pages in the book. And if we look at this one, it goes to 192. So we know we're going to be okay. It starts on page 5 and then it's got these couple of pages that we'll remove anyway. So we know we will have excess pages that we have to remove. It's going to be a little bit tricky to get a book that's bang on 124, but you don't want one that's less than that. Also, the ideal size would be 16 centimetres, which would enable you to get your heart pattern positioned exactly in the middle. This one is just over 20, and all that will mean is that the heart is slightly higher up the finished page design rather than being dead central. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't really make any difference. So you could go up to 25 centimetres really on this one and still have it looking okay. So back to using our leaves of the book. The very first thing that we need to do is to think about our book. Now, if you've got one with a really nice coloured inner leaf, that's going to look good because obviously when the pages are folded, this front and back cover will still show with the heart in the middle. So it's really nice if you can find one that's got a cover that's coloured inner leaf and a hardback book so that it stands up. Whereas the Christmas tree was a paperback because we took the cover off. You don't really want these first couple of pages, so either tear them out carefully, or if you've got a craft knife and you want to just score them out, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to remove those first couple of pages. Now we have to completely ignore any page numbers that we see because we're now going to renumber the leaf. And so this will be leaf 1. So in this bottom corner, I'm going to put a 1. Then we're going to turn the page over, and remember, we ignore this side. This one will then become leaf 2. And you do that all the way through the book, renumbering each leaf from 1 to 62, which will give you enough pages for doing the individual instructions. So I'm just going to number up to 10, and I'll just show you those first 10 pages. So then you take the line relating to the leaf that you are doing. Now in this case, leaf number 1, our first mark is 4.5 centimetres and our second mark is 4.9 centimetres. Now these are very close together. If they are slightly inaccurately measured, it will just give you a slightly wobbly edge to your heart. It doesn't matter. So we measure all measurements on the outer page and we measure from the top down the page. So our first measurement, we're going to just put a little mark at 4.5 centimetres. And then we're going to put a second mark at 4.9 centimetres. And you can see these are close together. You might find it easy to fold your page like that. I find it a lot easier to turn my page like this. Also, when I'm measuring, it's easier that way. Now, our first fold is going to go from our 4.5 marker and it's going to be folded diagonally back to this centre point. Let me just show you what I mean. So I'm finding the marker here and I'm just pinching it, and then I'm easing that all the way back to the middle of the book, and you can see that we've got that first crease in. This is why your residents will need to have slightly better dexterity. The second fold comes from the bottom of the page up to the other marker. So we're doing it in the other direction. These I find slightly more fiddly as a left-hander. So there's our fold marker, and we're going back to the spine, creasing all the way along to the spine. And you will notice that you get this little overflap here, and we just fold that back on itself. So then when you've done that page, you turn it over, and you're now on to leaf 2, and you'll follow the instructions for leaf 2, which is 3.8 and then 5.6. So let's just pop our 3.8 on here, and our 5.6. So these are slightly further apart, which does make it a little easier to fold. Taking that one across and then bringing this other one back from the middle of the book out to our marker, and then folding the spare back. And you can see already it's beginning to show how this heart shape will form. So you work all the way through the book until you get to 62 pages of folding. When you get to 62 pages of folding, you will have something resembling this. You'll get to a point where you come down with your folding, and then you start going back up again to get this heart shape. You'll see I've taken the excess pages out. I used a craft knife to just cut them away here and to remove them. And the front flyleaf I took out. Now mine's got a cream inner, but you can now see how that other book would have had the pink flyleaf here with the heart on top of it. If you hold it up like this, you can see the shape. So the next stage to finish it off is to have a nice piece of ribbon, which you can then tuck inside and glue, and take a piece from each end and then join them with a bow in the middle, which will give you this finished look of a matching bow with the matching flyleaf.